morning.
Yeah, don't talk.
I'm sleeping. Okay, we got some bread for the dressing, and it's at about 200 degrees. She's drying it out, making the bread crumbs. Over here, we have onion and onion and celery, browning in butter. I don't know any amounts. I think that's all that she's doing so far. I've already done the giblets.
There weren't many this time. There was no neck.
No
It was
neck.
just the It was just the heart, and there was no liver either. I don't know why all the parts weren't there.
We got shorted on the giblets.
Yeah, we did.
And how long did you pressure cooker these?
About a half hour.
A half hour. Did you put water in there?
Yep.
How much water did you
I
put?
don't know.
In with
Just
the-
some.
Just
Like
some.
a cup or so.
A cup or so. Alright. So those are the giblets.
Find it.
So she did
Grind it
that
down below, that's all I have.
while she was drying out the bread and sauteing the onion and the celery. Okay.
It's down here somewhere.
So now she's locating her meat grinder. She's gonna turn the bread. And how long do you bake it for?
You just dry it out. You don't bake it.
Well, how long do you have it in there?
Till it's dry.
Till it's dry. There you go. Scientific measurements from Sue.
I have it about 250, or I don't have the oven very warm. I have the door propped open. So it'll dry.
Okay. Now she's grinding the giblets. And I suppose if you didn't have a meat grinder, you could just cut it.
It's not the same. It's chewy if you put it in there.
There
Just
you
like
go.
you gotta have the you gotta have the pressure cooker to get it really tender too.
And you have to cook it for about half an hour in the pressure cooker. And then you have to have a grinder.
Now, there is a little secret here that I have to show you in just a second.
Okay, we're gonna all of the secrets.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna laugh. It's not so profound, but
Well,
it's cool.
Yeah, but if it's a secret, we gotta know it.
You'll never read it anywhere.
Yeah.
Now you see how I can't get all the meat out? Watch this.
Here we go. Here's the big moment. She's got a piece of bread. Look at that. That is an incredible secret. It forces out
The rest of the meat.
all of the meat so you don't
Waste any.
and you don't grind your hand. Because that wouldn't feel too good.
And it doesn't hurt to have some of that bread ground in there. Isn't that neat?
That's
See, now
amazing.
I can get all the meat out.
Now this recipe, we just need to tell our viewers, originated from
My grandmother, who was born in 1883,
and what was her name?
Emma Spillman Suefert.
And if she were alive today, how old would she be?
Oh, God. 124.
Wow. And was it passed on?
Yeah, she
From-
showed her mom, my mother, how to do it, and then my mother showed me how to do it.
So we are preserving the past right here.
You don't save as juice for anything, do you?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, don't throw that away.
Okay. I didn't.
I use that in the dressing.
There we go, another secret. The juice from over here, from
pressure cooker.
cooking the giblets. And what's that going to get used in?
That's going to be to soften the bread. I know it seems dumb, you make the bread hard and then you have to soften it again, but that's just the way it goes. Actually, I think the bread is ready. It's just about ready to put together, actually.
Alright, so we'll let her finish grinding up the meat.
Yeah, see, this gets all the meat out of there. Because there's a little bit that sticks in the bottom. And if you go like this, Isn't that amazing?
I love it.
And then, because you'd waste a lot of meat that would end up in the grinder, and it doesn't hurt, you know, to have some of the bread ground.
Yeah,
And if you waste some of the bread in the grinder, it doesn't matter. But
yeah.
this is still mostly meat coming in.
Wow. Say that again.
Usually there's more giblets. And that's a pretty big bowl of stuff, and that gives it the flavor.
So that's the secret ingredient right there, and it's not as much this time.
No.
Normally there's more.
Oh, no, mushrooms. I think
Okay.
I gotta get the mushrooms.
Okay, now we're stirring in 2 little cans of mushrooms. We drained it
I'm gonna
first.
try cutting the bottom of the can, see if that works any better, because I can get these mushrooms out. I think it's something wrong with the
Alright,
can.
now the mushrooms you didn't need to brown. You can just, and she's got 2 cans.
I mean, sometimes they do, but yeah, you don't problem. It's just you have to soften the other stuff.
Now how much onion and celery would you say you put?
I put 2 kind of large onions and 4 stalks of celery.
Okay, so 2 large onions and 4 stalks of celery. And about how much butter did you brown?
Anywhere from a half stick to a whole stick, just whatever's the mood.
Whatever
I don't
mood
know.
you're
See,
in.
it's not very scientific. That's what I say. You go by how it looks. And
Now she's stirring in the cooked ground up giblets, the secret ingredient, the magic secret ingredient.
Now we'll see if the bread's ready.
Okay.
And we're just about ready to put it together here.
Ooh, this is an exciting moment.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Forgot I was
okay?
standing right by the corner there. Yeah. In the shelf.
Meanwhile, Beth is eating cookies.
Good cookie.
And having coffee.
Eat out.
Okay, now she's putting in some garlic.
Mom didn't always put garlic in, but I like it with garlic.
Okay. So you can do it with or without. It's a choice.
Yes. I might as well get all this stuff ready so that when the bread is ready, it'll, just go together.
Okay, now
Then
she's got
pepper.
Just dump some in, not a lot.
That's scientific, isn't it?
And Beth, I don't know what she's doing.
Okay, now sage. Do not play the piano. This was always my mom fussed because she really didn't know. These are teaspoons. So
are you
about between 1 and 2 tablespoons.
okay?
She used to put some in, and then she always fussed that she didn't want too much sage.
Oh, not too much sage.
Sage is good.
I know it. I don't
Garlic
worry
is
about
good.
it. I don't worry about getting too much sage. I don't think you can get too much sage in there.
It's always so good. I've never had it where I didn't like it.
I know.
Now you guys just kind of feel. It's my favorite part of the meal.
Well, why do you think I'm recording all this, Ma?
Like, how does it go from being a bunch of bread and
Stir it.
celery to what it ends up being, which is really good?
It's
So
just
you
a
don't have
combination.
you don't have it on, right?
No,
You're
no,
not actually cooking it right now.
no. But it will.
Okay.
As soon as that bread is ready and it gets mixed, then it goes into the bird.
Okay.
And of course, I always make more than fits in the bird, so then I make a separate casserole dish.
Okay. Okay.
Is when it's done, I take out the stuff that cooked in the bird, because that's real moist, and the stuff that baked in the oven is kind of dry, and I mix it together,
Ooh, another secret.
because then it all gets more like what the stuff in the bird is like, but it doesn't all fit in the bird, so.
Another secret that's not in Betty Crocker.
Yeah.
Okay, now the next step is to break up the dried bread, and let's make a note that you can, instead of drying it in the oven, you can set it out onto the cookie sheets just to air dry the night before.
Or you can go to the store and just buy bread cubes, but then they're so generic that I like the torn effect. It's more
And you're
natural.
just tearing it up into pieces. And how much is this, about a loaf?
Yeah. Again, it's not very scientific.
And as far as white bread or
Bread
wheat
comes you buy at
bread?
the store, like seasoned or something.
Yeah, but I get the bread. I like the regular bread.
She likes the regular bread. It's probably cheaper.
Now bread's so expensive.
Okay, and you can use white or wheat, right?
I've been using wheat. Yeah.
She's been using wheat. Okay. Now, we got the bread all cut up, torn up, and we're adding the goop to the bread. We didn't use quite all the bread we had dried. We said we need about 2/3 of the total mixture needs to be bread.
Somewhere between a pound and a pound and a half is what I usually end up using. If I use a pound and a half loaf, I don't quite use the whole thing. I always would like that.
All right, now we're gonna stir it
Yep.
together.
But see, now it's too dry, so then you're going to see the meat juice is going to get used here.
Okay.
You know, I'm trying to think, sometimes I think Mom would heat that meat juice, but I don't know what difference it would make if it's hot or cold.
Now, do you want that now?
Yeah, as soon as I get this kind of distributed, then I'm going to add some.
This is the juice that was left over from cooking the giblets. Just dump that, just all of it.
Well, no, you just kind of, you add it gradually, but I think usually I use most of it. I put some in and then I stir some more until it gets kind of a little bit gooey consistency, because right now it's pretty stiff.
Okay.
And you don't want your dressing too stiff. But this has some real nice flavors from the bird in it.
Okay.
And it's funny, it's just like boiling the cabbage down. It will flatten down as it gets moist.
Okay. Now, after the dressing is all put together, you put a bunch of it into the turkey.
Yeah, and you put some in the neck cavity. You're not supposed to pack it in, but supposed to put it in kind of loose.
Kind of loose.
And
then she's flipping it over. Oh, so there's 2 spots.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this. It's too late now.
Aww.
You know what? It was still frozen down and I didn't feel it. I thought it was part of the back. Well, you know what?
Should we still just cook it up, and there's no way to add it?
I know. It should have been, but it's not, and I'm just mad at myself that I didn't see that it was in there.
So always check both cabinets.
Yeah, right.
Because
Always
some
check
of it
them.
was in that.
Yeah, the rest of it was in there, and I felt like this, and it was laying, they had frozen flat right to the floor, and it felt just like the bottom of the turkey, so I thought it wasn't in there. I felt a couple times and I couldn't feel it. Usually you can grab it and feel the neck is in there. Well,
It'll be
for
fine.
as big as it is, you don't always get that much meat off of it. It's very puttery because you have to pick all the meat off the neck bone and make sure you don't get any of the neck bone in there.
Because the other one is just meat, right? There
Yeah,
was
the
no
other one is
bone.
straight meat. So it would have had a little more meat, but you know, some people don't put any giblets in because it's easier to make it without any giblets.
But I think that's the secret ingredient.
Well,
To make it.
I think the giblets make it good, but I've known people that just boil the giblets and then just cut it up, and they get chewy. When you pressure cooker it and meat grind it, it goes right into the texture, and you don't even your tongue doesn't find pieces of chewy meat or anything. So,
Okay.
but it gives it that nice flavor.
Now, how about that little plastic piece? Do you have to cut that off?
You know, I like it when the legs are together, so I wait till it's cooked and then I cut it off
Okay.
because I like having it there. So about half the dressing is probably going to fit in this turkey, and the other half is going to go in a dish. And I won't put it in until about an hour before it's done, because it doesn't have to bake so long.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody wouldn't be happy if this was all the dressing there was just what fits in the bird.
Okay.
You know, this bird isn't that big. I'm glad we have a ham. I mean, there'd be enough, but just barely.
Okay.
Turkeys, it's amazing how much waste there is on a turkey.
Okay. Now she's covering the turkey with foil. And she doesn't quite have enough.
I'll look and see if I have another package. This might be. Yeah, this is just going to do it. Yep. It'll be fine.
And that's called temping it?
Well, usually when I have more, I put a bigger bubble. This way it'll keep its own juices and it won't dry out. So I won't take the cover off until the last half hour of cooking. Then it'll just brown on the top. This will keep it moist. Okie doke. That is ready to go in.
Okay. Okay. Now we're at the stage, the turkey is all cooked, and out comes the portion of the dressing that has been in the bird cooking, and she's putting it into a bowl. And in a moment, it will get stirred with the other dressing,
Which is in the microwave.
which she is microwaving for. How long will you cook
I
that?
don't know. I think I did it, I did it for short spells and then I let it rest and then do it again because microwaving, cooks too fast. So I probably did a total of about 13 minutes in the microwave. So I'm sure it's cooked, but it'll be drier than this.
Okay. And the smell is so good, it's just, oh, I can't wait. And she's removing the dressing from this end. Is that, that's the neck?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to go like this and then somebody can scrape that out a little later. I'm just anxious to get it out of the bird so I can start cooking. See, so this is when I need helpers.
Okay.
So Beth is doing something on the computer and maybe she'll have to... Yeah, because somebody will have to stir the dressing. I can do some of it, but back together in here.
So now we're combining the microwaved other portion of dressing.
I mean, this just is a mess. There's no easy way to do this. It makes so many different dishes, bowls and stuff. Because now I gotta start cutting up the meat.
Okay. Okay, so before we consume the food, here it is. There's the jello that I didn't get to video, but maybe next time. Let's see, the kraut, that'll be another time. I gotta video that. But there it is. There is our dressing that we made on this tape. So we will enjoy.